So I got a great question here from a young man who goes on to say, Yo, Elliot, I am a pre-med student with a 3.9 GPA. In college, working at a part-time job at Target. The point is, I work hard and I'm pretty successful where I am. However, I feel like I need to do more. I used to love studying and learning, but now I feel like it's just something I need to do. What should I do to make sure that I stay on the right path of what my dream is for myself? So thank you for your question, dude. And the very first thing I would say is that I totally relate. There are times in my life where things are going great and there's no reason to divert off the path, but I seem to get bored. And that has always ended in disaster because I tend to leave the good thing that I got, that I'm going strong on, like your 3.9 GPA, working and stuff. And out of a sense of need for novelty, sensation, excitement, out of the boredom of doing the same thing over and over again, I've gone astray. And it's done nothing but create havoc in my life. And so as I've gotten older, I've begun to heed the words of my father. Interesting, the other day, my brother and I were having a very similar conversation to what you're talking about right now. And I brought up, Dad has never strayed from his path. Our father has been fixing cars, taking care of his family, and growing his garden. Those three things: fix cars for a living, takes care of his family, loves his family, and his hobby is his garden. Those three things my entire life. And I've never once heard him complain. He's got a philosophy about life that I think might be resourceful to you, and it's something that as I've grown up, matured, become more of a man, more of an alpha like my dad, I've begun to live, and that is this: get up every day and do what's in front of you. Don't have grand visions and grandiose ideas about where you're going to go and what you're going to get and how it's going to be when you get there. He says, just get up every single day and do what's in front of you. Do what you got to do every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Have no fantasy about it. Don't need to feel good about it. That's another one me and my brother were talking about, this sense that has been bred into us as a byproduct of growing up in our feminized culture. My dad grew up in the jungle in Belize, so a lot of the junk that I confronted as a kid and even brought to the table for him, like, Dad, what about this? He would just slap and get out of his face with it. He's like, that's bullshit. And one of them is that, two, I just thought of another one. One of them is that you gotta feel good about the things that you're doing. It's gotta bring excitement into your life. My father never talked about excitement and feeling good. He just talked about getting up and doing what you gotta do. He also said, be the best at whatever you do, which is super important. It's not about just going through the motions, being mundane about it. It's about doing it to the best of your ability. And my dad does everything the best. He's the best at his job, fixing cars. He does it faster and better than anybody. Family, he's really the only one out of all of his brothers and sisters, 12 siblings, who has a successful marriage, stayed together the entire time, raises children in a positive environment. Only one, because he decides on a few things and he wants to be the best at it. And then finally, his gardens are amazing. My father he's a green thumb dude. So the whole thing is, pick a few things, just a handful of things, school and work. That's it. School, work. For me, when I was growing up, I was so glad that I was able to focus on school, lifting, and my girlfriend. For me, that's what it was that I needed. But when I was getting through high school and college, that was it. I was able to focus on school, work, and my girlfriend, who ended up being my wife. So you can see, I wanted to be the best. Working out, I was great at football. Ended up being a YouTube celebrity, teaching people how to lift. You see where I'm going with that? School, didn't do great in school, but I was able to take what I learned with putting my efforts into my business. So there you have it, So for me, it's business, lifting, and women, right? I talk about that in terms of our King Transformation Program. Lifting, business, women. Those are the three things that I focused on. Lifting, my business, and when I say women, I mean my relationship with my wife and my family. Another one that it just came to me and I had to bring up is that my father would always laugh at me when I said that I was looking for myself. I'm just trying to find myself, I would say, which is completely effeminate, and it's a part of the BS that we've been fed in our culture, that you need to find yourself, find your passion, right? and I've even spoken about this, so I'm not saying it like, I've changed my mind on a lot of things. So things that you may have seen or heard me say on videos in the past, I no longer resonate with. And I really don't think that you need to find yourself. Anytime you're trying to look for yourself, you're gonna miss yourself because you're not paying attention to where you are. That's huge. When my dad says, do what you gotta do, it's right in front of you, that's where you are. If you're looking for yourself, that means you're missing the boat. I know that wasn't your question, but I had to bring that up. Stop looking for ourselves, man. There's nothing to look for. Stop seeking novelty, seeking entertainment, seeking sensual gratification from the things that we do, and just do what's in front of you and be the best at what you do. So my man, just to bring it full circle with you and your school, you're in pre-med, you want to be a doctor. Man, keep that on your path, right? School. You're working at Target. Well, maybe there's not much you can do in terms of innovation, but you can be the best cash register checker or shelf stocker in the whole place. And I don't say that like as a joke. A lot of guys are like, oh, yeah, go ahead, be the greatest cash register. Be the greatest cash register checker out. Like the guy that smiles, the guy that talks to people, the guy that does a great job, the guy that everybody wants to wait on his line because he's awesome to deal with, or the guy that stocks the shelves, always has a great attitude, is always doing it the fastest, doing it the best, doesn't half-ass. It's the attitude that you bring to things, really, that allow even the most mundane work, right? Sweeping the street can be art if you bring an attitude, a good attitude to it, right? So you got that. I'm telling you right now, these are my ideas for you. Do what you want to do. Focus on your school. Focus on your work, and then focus on lifting, dude. Lifting is the gateway drug to personal development. You want to be the best you got to lift. That's another one. I should have put that in there with my dad. My dad started to lift. My dad always exercised. He's always in great shape. Damn. I mean, he's 70 now, and the guy's still really jacked. My dad never stops lifting. And so I would put that there with his 3, so he got 4. But for you, look, you don't even have a family yet. And women, completely waste of time right now. I really and truly believe women are a waste of time unless you're trying to grow a family. Otherwise, women are just entertainment. It's just a place to bust a nut. But anyway, that's a whole different story. I think it's better for us to use our energy wisely during our young age, right? Use your vitality for your work, for your workouts, and for your school. And that's it, man. It's not easy to stay focused in this world full of distractions. I totally understand that. Another thing my father would often say is, I don't want to know about anything else. Like where we sort of get addicted to information, we get addicted to watching YouTube videos, we get addicted to reading books, we get addicted to scrolling and needing to know and getting the gratification of knowledge, right? In the same way that people grow obese with food, we grow obese with knowledge or with information. So cut out all distractions. Maybe don't read so many books. Maybe don't watch so many YouTube videos. Maybe don't scroll through Instagram and Facebook so much. Maybe don't need to know anything except how to be the best at what you do. Everything else is a waste of time, a waste of vitality. Put your eggs in one basket. Put all your eggs in one basket. Watch that basket grow.